the same one as the last one.
We're going to call the May 11, 2021 regular meeting of the City of Morrow to order, and we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence, please. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. I was told we have a new employee, so I'm going to try to pick him up right away so that everybody can get. Go ahead and introduce him, Mr.
I'd like to take a couple moments, Mayor and Council, to introduce our new Public Works Supervisor, Gerald Rowe. Gerald has been with us now for about a week. We're getting him acclimated to the Public Works Department and all the things that we're embarking on, and good, better. We're glad to have him with us.
Got a small list we're looking forward to.
I haven't seen the small part.
Oh, you're going to fit in just fine. All right. You have before us an amended version of the March 23rd, April 13th regular meeting, April 13th work session, April 24th special call meeting, April 27th regular work meeting, or regular meeting, and April 27th work session. We've had that before us. Everything that was requested was added. Do I hear a motion to approve? I hear a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Qua?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Mayor, I have a little technical difficulty at the beginning, and I wasn't able to see what was changed. Well, that's all the changes on the meeting minutes is in the last email that the city manager forwarded for the council.
My understanding is every request that was made was granted. So if it was submitted, the change was made.
City manager, was that all the changes were in the latest email that comes into council today?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And then, yeah,
All right, motion
my
passes.
whole year.
All right, Chief, we have a couple things. A Top Gun Award and a trophy run.
Yes, sir. We got two of our guys, and one of them you just met 2 weeks ago, and now you had to show off a little bit.
Wow.
He hasn't been here with us but about 3 months, but I'm gonna have the instructors come up here and explain to you what they had to do in order to receive these before we called them up.
Evening, Mayor and Council.
This is Sergeant Murphy and Lieutenant Beard. I'll let you hold one, you hold one.
The City of Morrow Police Department, we have a yearly qualification, which is mandatory through the state. And in that qualification, we run what's called a Georgia Double Action Course, or GDAC course for short. It's basically a course designed to, stimulate you a little bit, reduce a little bit of stress, and make sure you maintain the accuracy during the course. It's a lot of moving from different levels in the range, and we also, the course is scored by 0 to 300 points. Now, some officers achieve a higher score than others, and the ones that achieve the higher score, we like to recognize them. And this will be the
Go ahead and call them up.
Sergeant Matthew Beaver. Sergeant Beaver here has, got a 92.6 percentile, which is about a 280.
This way so she can get a picture.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This way.
Can we go over here?
I'll get everybody else.
She wants me.
So he's our highest scoring officer for the Georgia Double Action Course this year.
This is Top Gun over here.
Now, out of those officers who would shoot a higher score, what we call an expert score, we have what's called a trophy round that we run for these guys. It's a little bit of a morale builder, and it helps them work on their skills as officers and proficiency with firearms.
So what, 6 experts?
We had 6 experts this year, and out of those 6 experts, they all ran a course that involved moving and shooting, accuracy, and then having to remember a sequence of targets to fire at and the proper amount of rounds to go on each target. Multiple platforms, and then long distance shooting as well as up close shooting. Now, this course gets your heart racing, makes you think, which we want that, especially on the streets. We want the officers to be able to work under stress. So this course right here, we time it. Now, the best time we had for this course was by Officer Jamie Fortune, one of our newest hires, at 56 seconds.
So all the bad guys out there, those are the 2 you want to stay away from.
Only thing bad, one's a left-hander.
There's nothing bad with being left-handed.
Okay, yes, you both, that's it.
You got a line?
Okay, there we go.
He's taller than me, right?
Yes.
Good job, guys.
Just as a general reminder, remember this is National Police Week. Good job.
We need to have the amendment to the agenda for
We're going to add 2 items, item 5, which is going to be related to the replacement police vehicle request that you have before you, and item 6, which is going to be related to the COVID fiscal recovery funds. Do I hear a motion to add those 2 items to the agenda? Motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean? Aye. Mr. Quah? Aye. Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
No.
All right, add it to the agenda. Good. Public hearing, we have a mixed-use zoning in the city. It has specific requirements to it. Some of those requirements were created a while back. We are looking to have a moratorium in place which allows us, that basically stops anyone from issuing a permit for that particular site until such time as the city has had a chance to review its codes, make any changes that are so necessary, and to do that. Do I hear any comments from the public? Going once, going twice, hearing closed. New business, approval of the agreement with Wex Health for employee flexible spending and to authorize the mayor to execute the agreement and other related documents. There was some discussion at the last council meeting as to a certain dollar value that might have been left in the prior account, and the new account managers agreed to roll those numbers into their section. So that should solve that, plus give us what we need. We have it. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Approval of the Public Works recommendation for all his enterprises for some brick and grout repairs. We did some cleanup out there at the district, and some of that is a combination of brick paver sidewalks and some of the grout that was in there over the years that have not taken very well when the pressure washer came through it. So to go in there and make the necessary repairs so we don't destabilize the sidewalks is $6,900 to be paid from the SPOS 2014 category facilities improvement, and authorize the mayor to execute the document under the related documents. Got that before you. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Properly. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of grant writing service for Amanda Day, a certified Georgia grant administrator. I guess it stands for certified GBC.
Grant Professional Certified.
Grant certified for $75 an hour and a fee. There's a contract that goes into this, and authorize the mayor to execute the contract and other related documents. You got that before you. Do I hear a motion to approve? properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Mr. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of the Justice Creek TE project for sponsor signed time extension Tri-Scapes for 120 days and authorize the mayor to execute the contract and other related documents. We already had discussions about engineering needing to be updated and confirmed and a few other things. This is basically just the authorization to extend the contract based on the timeline for 120 days. We've had that before us. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
And Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. First reading, charter change.
No, no, sir. There are two new items.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see, which one did I grab first? Oh, let's just do this one. All right, Morrow Police Department, the replacement of police vehicles. Yeah, you're right, the new one, chief. You got it.
Yes, sir. Came in with the old ones.
That's right. Just working on that order. And basically, this is a 2019, which was involved in an accident, and what we're getting is a payout on it, and a breakdown of the cost is here before you, and ultimately the replacement after the insurance is $20,057. You've had that before you. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Second one is related to the U.S. Department of Treasury, coronavirus, state and local fiscal recovery funds. This is some of the federal money that we heard about. There's certain criteria that go with it, and we have to obviously authorize it to get it done. So this is to authorize the mayor to execute the contract and other related documents with the U.S. Department of Treasury related to coronavirus, state and local fiscal recovery funds. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran? Van?
Aye.
All right, first reading of a charter change. Basically, it's a change of ordinance that basically allows the mayor and council to appoint the chairman of the planning and zoning board. This is the first reading. Item number 2, second reading of an ordinance. This one we've had before us. It's a mixed-use moratorium, and it basically is, as I stated earlier, this would stop the ability to issue permits related to the mixed-use zoning category and give the city council time to review the ordinances that are on the books as well as make any recommendations or modifications as they see fit. We've had that before you for a number of weeks. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean?
Aye.
Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Ms. Tran?
Aye.
Motion carries. Second reading, ordinance 21-06. It's amendment code of ordinance, City of Morrow, to revise title General Government, Administrative Organization, City Attorney, Section 232, powers and duties or repeal conflicting ordinances. You have a copy of that before you, and we have had extensive discussions related to it. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Mayor, I'm sorry.
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. Discussion.
So,
Point of clarity.
I
I would like
would
to
like
say,
Mayor,
Councilwoman
Mayor.
Tran, hold on 1 second. Councilwoman Tran, hold on 1 second. I just wanted to provide my discussion point earlier during the work session. I am clear on the language, so I am good. I understand that this is the second reading. We're gonna go ahead and vote with regard to changing the language. I understand what the language means because the city attorney helped me understand, so I'm good.
Excellent. Other discussion, Ms. Tran?
yes, I want to amend the change, and this with the clarification that this doesn't prevent the council, city officer, the access to get the legal advice to do their job.
I don't think it prevents you from getting legal advice now.
She meaning direct contact?
And it's important, remember, not to have to wait for the majority vote.
So we have a motion to amend, we have to, get a first or second on the motion to.
We're voting, right?
Well, basically, you have a motion, that somebody has made a motion to amend the original motion. Do I hear a second on the amendment? Going once, going twice, amendment motion fails. Go back to the first motion, we have a motion and a second to pass it as it's originally sectioned. I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Dean.
Aye.
Mr. Quah.
Aye.
Ms. Knight.
Aye.
Ms. Tran.
Okay?
Three goes, motion carries. So now we go to general comments. Comments from the city manager. Comments from the city attorney. It's nice to have you here.
It was great to be here, no comments.
Comments from our citizens. Let's start with easy one. Ms. Cherry, what you got? You stood up fast.
Everything. We just lost a half hour of our lives by listening to people that you can't understand. And I do appreciate everybody being here in person. When I first came in, you weren't here, Mary, you were late. But everybody was visiting with everybody. It was like old times. Hey, how are you type thing. And, you know, that was good. It brings us back together. But, Van, I'm sorry. We cannot understand you. You ask all kinds of crazy questions. And I think it'd be better off if you were in here. And it would be easier for you to talk to your fellow council people and the mayor if you were. You can wear your mask, you can wear your gloves, we can get you a hazmat suit. You can be 8 feet from anybody in this room. It's time that you came back, everybody else is back in here. And, other thing that I want to say is, the ordinance 2021-03, I say no. Thank you.
Ms. Hargis.
I just want to second what Sherry said. I just feel like voters aren't being served if everybody's not here, and if it's a constant one person that's not here. Love you, Van, I appreciate what you do, but it's misunderstandings on both sides because of technical difficulties. You know, whether she's not hearing something, we're not understanding her, it would work better if everybody was here consistently. That's just my opinion.
Other comments?
Yes, you know, I was thinking when we were discussing, about, when you had mentioned, we want to be on the same, sheet of music for planning, and I just wondered if we could have a get-together with, you know, the DMO, the URA, the city council, so that we could see the plan to move Morrow forward. Because we live here, you know, this is our home, and we want the best for Morrow. So if we can help you to get it going, I'm all in, okay? So if we can do that, that'd be great. And I think the problem with Tran, it's hard to understand because her communications is garbled. So I think that's what we were having problems with today. Thank you.
Excellent. Other questions? Comments? Hearing none. Comments from the council? Ms. Knight.
I'm good.
Ms. Dean.
I shouldn't, but I will. You know, just on the, city events.
Yes.
We had, discussed having a community yard sale, and I think we agreed for August the 14th at the district. And it's not on here, so if we could, is that, something I think we all
Yep, I don't think that's gonna be a hard thing.
And, I mean, there's no conflict or anything, right?
Zero regulation.
And then, you know, this is, I mean, it's a citizens' participation in this, you know, they, you know. And also, the community garden has selected July the 17th for our annual picnic. And so I don't know if that is a time for the city and council or whatever to do a little, you know,
Little ribbon cutting?
yeah, little something, something.
I think that's arrangeable. You can pick the hottest day in the year, I think.
Well, we have fans,
Hey, that's a good point. That's a good point. So,
natural air conditioning.
certainly, I think we get that.
So,
going.
yeah, and that's the time that the, you know, the garden, we invite, you know, community members, police department, fire department, public works, all the staff to come, you know, to, you know,
Am I gonna be able to get $100 cabbage?
well, we might give you one for free.
So that's, certainly.
Renee is gonna be in the garden, so she'll go to you a
Putting
special,
stuff in the ground Saturday.
yes.
I noticed that people were planting some ghost peppers, so for the folks who really like the stuff candy, let's hope it doesn't cross-pollinate to somebody's cabbage.
Right.
See how it goes.
We'll cover it up and only let certain bees and butterflies visit.
Excellent. Mr. Quan.
No comment.
Ms. Tran.
Yes, this week is a National Police Week, and I would like to say thank you to all our police officers for keeping us safe. Thank you for your hard work.
Excellent.
Thank you.
May I have an outline?
Here, before we adjourn the meeting, could I have one more question to the city attorney?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. If we hire a non-licensed contractor to do the job that require a licensed contractor, if something happens, damage related later on, related to the job being done by non-licensed contractor, like say, if you is burned out because the wire is not wired properly, would the insurance cover that damage?
I wouldn't know unless I see your policy rider on that. But normally, if there's a property damage or if there's a premise liability claim or a negligence claim, you have, generally the city has insurance coverage for that.
Plus we have the original coverage from the original.
Plus there, yeah,
And most of the time, the two insurance companies get together.
they fight over it, but without seeing that, but normally, if there's any claim, you would submit that to your insurance carrier, and they would provide either a defense or do the investigation for that.
Thank you.
All right, Lonnie.
You know, I wanted to say, the food in the truck is just the right way around. I mean, the food in the truck. Food truck in the park. I knew it was coming somewhere, so right, it's right. But it's wonderful, you know, I think we're moving Morrow in the right way when we're doing that.
Yes.
It's positive. Thank you.
Sure.
Val, would you mind going ahead and adding to Mayor and City Council's calendar the events that we already know are in the pipeline? Would you mind?
Yes, so send the invite. out.
Yes, send the invite so we can just accept and it'll be on it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I have a quickie. Who sponsored the car show last Saturday?
That was a private event.
Okay.
For those that are kind of interested, you know, we have a marketing organization. In some cases, we put up some money to be able to keep things moving, right? But this district is pretty sharp. So this particular one, you know, we had some backup in terms of some police services and things like that. But this is where the private sector took it on its own. We're going to meet with those folks next week to see if we can bring them back in the fall. It was a pretty well-attended event. It was pretty nice. And to see if we can expand that. Plus look at their business model just to see, you know, if they lost money. You know, I think there are some things that we feel they left on the table that we might be able to improve on. But yes, totally private event.
So they charged to get in.
They did. It was $5 for adult and children were free. I think that was
The
pretty
reason
good.
I asked, I saw something about it on Facebook after the fact, but I ran to the mall or something and I'm coming home and I look over and there's a Batman car.
Well, and
If
one
you
of the
could just see
reasons,
that thing, it was cool, it was a convertible.
It was
Had
nice.
lights around it, lights in the tires,
Well,
it was cool.
we had not really done a lot of business with this particular individual, so they talked a pretty good game, you know, a lot of different things, but, you know, car shows can be, you know, a bunch of high school kids, you know, throwing cars out there, or it could be something very nice, and we weren't 100% sure. So what we looked at was it's a private event, let's see what happens, you know, and let's see how well it's attended, which the vast majority of the city council was there. I think we would all agree, we would like some more of that. And so it was nice, and I think you'll see us engage with them a little better